Yeah, anyway, whenever I pull that trigger, this time should be moving, so I'm going to have to take it apart. Transmission on these are, I think, like $150, so makes you kind of hesitant on whether you actually want to replace it or not. But I'll probably take it apart at some point and see what it looks like and see if I can just buy maybe a gear. Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video today. Today I've got a Honda Harmony FG100. I'm going to revisit the transmission on this. We're going to open it up today, take a look at the parts inside, and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it, why it's not turning the tines. And here's a look at my transmission. Never taken it apart before. Last time I put it up 3 years ago, I did grease it, so it's going to be full of grease, or it should be. There's no grease leaking out anywhere, so that's not an issue. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts here that need to come out, and it should just separate after that. So let me go figure out what socket I need and go ahead and open it up. And these don't seem to be really that tight. Okay, so all of these are loosened. I'm just going to take them out, set them aside. Remember that the heads go in on this side, same as where you would grease it. I also cleaned it off a little more. I didn't want any loose dirt to get on the inside, so try to prevent that. Okay, now I don't expect it to separate real easy right now. Probably gonna have to pry that apart. So let me grab a screwdriver, and I'm gonna take all these screws and put them aside. Okay, I'm just gonna take a screwdriver and open it up here. Seems like there is some metal flakes here. I'm going to clean all this. Sorry for the camera work here. I'm going to clean all of this grease off here so we can get a better look. See some little metal flakes in there. I believe that's what that is. This worm gear feels really sharp. I'm thinking it's wore out. And it's pretty expensive part. So here's a look at the parts now, cleaned up a little bit better. You can see how worn that is. The tine shaft wheel. See how it's flattened out there? compare it here to this side here. See how flat it is. So that is one piece. That shaft comes with the wheel on it. And you can see it just slips through there. Like I have it here. That's the part I'm going to need. Let me show you some of the other parts here. So this right here is the tiller worm shaft. Connects to the clutch drum there. And it is in two pieces. This worm shaft actually ends right here, screws in to this part of the other shaft, and it looks pretty good from what I can tell. It's a heavier, this is a steel. And on the end of the worm gear here is a bronze bushing and a washer. So you have the washer, then a bronze bushing. There's a flat side. Then you have a bronze bushing down on this end. And you have a series of washers here. So two pieces, and then on the end down here, trying to get a sight back up here, there is some bearings, sealed bearings. Okay, let's see if we can, so here's that tiller worm shaft, $69. You can see it has threads on this end, so that would be like right here. Okay, there is a the other part that goes towards the clutch drum would be the connecting shaft right here. That's where you have the ball bearings, roller bearing right there. And you have this green piece. I don't think that's bearings. I think the bearings are right here. So for putting this worm shaft back in place, see the green piece right there, still don't know the name of it, goes right in here, and then you've got the bearings right above it. So you want to have the proper spacing here. So that's seated pretty good there. Now you've got the bronze bushings here that need to be seated as well, with the flat surface up. Okay. I have the tine wheel shaft already in place. Just kind of lined it up to get it to fall in place. Lined it up with the worm gear here. Okay, now this bronze bushing up here on the top, got the washer right there, remember, and then the flat surface up. Now, there doesn't seem to be any wear or space as far as these bushings go. They seem to look pretty good. And if the flat surface is not up, then there's going to be a gap, space. The worm wheel won't really be seated like it should, from what I can tell, for the worm gear. So yeah, you can see it's already moved up. even with that wheel worn like it is. See, I can still get some movement until, you know, right there where there's no gears really. So it starts right here. Let's see, let me show you the other part of the other side. Alright, so the other part of the transmission, you can see where the flat side of the bushings go in here and here. You've got these two bronze bushings here. Now, these are different bushings. I'll show you those in a second. And then you have these two seals up here at the top. So those bushings are right here, and those seals are right there, the rubber seals. You have the same, you know, right here on this part of the tine shaft going into the casing here. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and put this back together temporarily. This would need to be sealed up with some kind of gasket maker. You know, I haven't scraped it, but you can see some residue here. Alright, it's the next day now, and I just want to point out that it's a good idea to take photos or videos of any kind of small work you may be doing, any kind of detail work. In my case here, I actually had this video made of taking the transmission apart and then putting it back together, and played it back and realized that I made a mistake when it comes to some washers here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together, or show you the end of the video, how it should be done, at least how I took it apart. And how I found it. So let's go ahead and finish up now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just put this back together temporarily until I decide what I'm going to do. Either try to find a whole new transmission, or just find this part right here, the tine wheel shaft. So, you know, I'm not going to put any grease in here, but I'll try to put it back like I remember it. So this wheel, go ahead and take that back out. These washers here. Now there were two right next to the wheel. Of course, they were coated with grease. The parts for this that they sell only shows one washer, but there was two when I took it apart on each side of the wheel. So yeah, let's go against that bushing. Of course, you know, you would want grease there. Then we'll have to lift this back out, the wheel to go in. Probably could have put it back together on this side, and what I've noticed is the bushings here that seat. Remember I said there's a flat side up. If you put it together on this side, you can go ahead and put the flat side down. See how it locks, stabilizes in there. So that's probably the best side to put it back together with. Just look for that flat area there. See, this one doesn't have it, but I'm going to go ahead and go with this side here and just have that flat side up. So everything's looking pretty good here. And then we have the 2 washers here. Again, I had 2 on here. Probably really only need 1 according to the way they sell the parts. You know, it would need to be greased. This whole area would need to be greased. When you put it back together, I would say, and then you could add grease through the, get this lined up here so that, all right, so everything's falling in really good here. That's it, it's closed up. Yeah, you could, you grease it actually right here. You take the screw out and just pump it with grease. Take both these screws out, pump one with grease until it starts oozing out the other one, then tighten them up. But anyway, that's going to be it. I'm going to put this aside, put the bolts back in it, put it aside, and decide what I'll do later. So thanks for watching the video. Hope it's been helpful, and until next time, have a great day out there. Take care.